He taught me to address my opponents with grace, love, and respect. This is your idea of what grace, love, and respect is.
It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course. That's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course.
Charlie Kirk called Barack Obama's wife stupid in the clip you just watched. This is Barack Obama speaking yesterday after Charlie Kirk was shot.
So we have to extend grace to people during their period of mourning and shock. We can also, at the same time, say that I disagree with the idea that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a mistake. Who are we as a country? I can say that I disagree with the suggestion that my wife or Justice Jackson does not have adequate brain processing power.
This is why we all hate you people. This is why we hate right-wingers. Because you just said, he taught me to address my opponents with grace, love, and respect. This is your idea of what grace, love, and respect is.
You really have to wonder. In fact, you know, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course. That's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course. Oh no, imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson. They think this is persuasive.
Well, at least now we don't have to imagine a world without Charlie Kirk, right? Ow!
They think as they kind of now reveal that I'm only here because of anti-white, anti-Asian forced discrimination policies that turned me into a bitter, resentful activist that hates white people, honestly, through our policies.
So that's your idea of grace, love, and respect. And by the way, he completely lied about what Sheila Lee said. She said that she was allowed to get into college thanks to affirmative action. That's what it is, affirmative action. It's not getting a slot that a more apt white person would have got. It's that a woman who wouldn't have got the opportunity elsewise was able to get that spot. And then she excelled in that spot. She even said, my graduation wasn't because of affirmative action. It was because of her hard work. Yes, you're really dumb. He completely lied about what Sheila Lee said. just like you lied about what Ilhan Omar said. So what other conclusion can I draw other than you're a racist? Now, you said the words grace, love, and respect. This was Barack Obama. Was it yesterday, guys? It was yesterday. Talking about Charlie Kirk. And he called his wife stupid. Charlie Kirk called Barack Obama's wife stupid in the clip you just watched. This is Barack Obama speaking yesterday after Charlie Kirk was shot.
Look, obviously I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I was generally aware of some of his ideas. I think those ideas were wrong. But that doesn't negate the fact that what happened was a tragedy and that I mourn for him and his family. He's a young man with 2 small children and a wife who obviously, and a huge number of friends and supporters who cared about him. And so we have to extend grace to people during their period of mourning and shock. We can also, at the same time, say that I disagree with the idea that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a mistake. That's not me politicizing the issue. It's making an observation about who are we as a country. I can say that I disagree with the suggestion that my wife or Justice Jackson does not have adequate brain processing power. I can say that I disagree that Martin Luther King was awful. I can disagree with some of the broader suggestions of that liberals and Democrats are promoting a conspiracy to displace whites and replace them by ushering in illegal immigrants. Those are all topics that we have to be able to discuss honestly and forthrightly, while we still insist that in that process of debate, we respect other people's right to say things that we profoundly disagree with. That's how we should approach this. Now, the last...
I played you a clip of Charlie Kirk and then a clip of Barack Obama. One of those men embodied this is the exact phrase you used, John, grace, love, and respect. That's what Barack Obama showed. Charlie Kirk showed none of that. So forgive us for being disgusted with the things you say. You say he played her own words, and he did, and she didn't say what he said she said. And that's what's amazing. I understood what she said perfectly. That she got the opportunity to go to college through affirmative action that she wouldn't have had otherwise, but that she earned her degree on her own. And you want to take that away from her. You don't think that she should be in that spot because she's a black woman. And that is disgusting. You are a racist. Charlie Kirk was a racist. And I don't care how many times that you say that you love me or that you love everybody and that you have no hate for anybody or that you'll pray for us. You seriously are filled with hate. Charlie Kirk's words were hateful. He was mocking a bunch of black women, saying they did not deserve to be in the spots that they were in. And you are endorsing that. You're not a good person. Now, it may be some internalized racism because you're too fucking stupid to understand. But you're a racist, my friend, and I can't help it. And I pointed it to you last night. You completely took what Ilhan Omar said out of context. You are a horrible human being. You are nothing like Jesus. The Bible said a rich man can't get into heaven. Rich men should give everything they own to the poor, and that you should care about the downtrodden. The meek shall inherit the earth. But you want to pass judgment on other people. You want to be a nasty individual. What her podcast is, a gallons of dumb in a 10-gallon hat. You're an idiot. You're a complete fucking moron and should not be passing judgment on anybody else's intellect. And I don't know how I can show it to you any clearer. You said grace, love, and respect. Barack Obama showed grace, love, and respect to Charlie Kirk, his family, and anybody who may be mourning. Affirmative action does not take spots from more qualified applicants. Just like everything else we talked about last night, you have no idea what the hell you are talking about. If you don't actually know what affirmative action is, it is making a spot for somebody who wouldn't otherwise be able to get in because of their race, not because of their grades. They excel. All of the people that Charlie Kirk mentioned excelled. They were exceptional students. You are a stupid piece of shit. That's why you're a racist. I don't know how I can make it any clearer for you, my friend. We're going to do some... You did take everything out of context. I played you the whole context and explained it to you. And then you had to backtrack and be like, oh, well, her body language offended me. You're a dumbass. And you're a virulent racist, you piece of shit. Now shut the fuck up. Nobody is going to talk to you.
Like one it and hit one back on one more click. Before we hit the set an alert when that shit goes live. Social fucking support and hit subscribe. Light one up and take a hit. He does no harm, but it takes no shit. He's the last one standing when the ship is sinking. Let's take another rip for JustinFREAKIN.
Light one up. Tip one back. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
Not high enough for this shit.